Ben, I've heard rumors about a certain meeting in London involving sausages. Please tell me it's not true.
Who told you?
Ben.
Was it Thomas? It was Thomas, wasn't it? I told him.
It doesn't matter who told me. Is it true?
It is partially true. There were no actual sausages present at the meeting. I want to be very clear about that.
Haha, but there were metaphorical sausages.
There were deeply unfortunate metaphorical sausages, yes. And butter. There was also butter.
There was also butter.
Ava, I need you to understand. This was a high-pressure situation. Very important client. Very important contract. And I was trying, genuinely trying, to sound natural. Relaxed. Like a native speaker who belongs in the room.
And instead, you sounded like a man who was very, very preoccupied with breakfast.
The CEO did use the word breakfast, yes. At one point. Not in a good way.
Hello and welcome back to Ava and Ben's English Loft. I'm Ava, and next to me, as always, is Ben. Ben is charming. Ben is intelligent. Ben speaks 3 languages. And Ben once walked into a boardroom in London, tried to sound like a relaxed native speaker, and accidentally convinced a British CEO that he had some kind of unusual relationship with German meat products. Today's topic, literal translation. What it is, why your brain does it under pressure, and why it will betray you every single time. Shall we, Ben?
Let's get it over with.
Forget the textbooks. Learn real English with us. Welcome to the Loft. Okay, take us there. London. When was this?
Last spring, April. My company had been working toward this partnership for almost 8 months. A British logistics firm, very established, very respected. And finally we get the meeting. A real meeting. With the actual CEO, not just his team.
That's a big deal.
An enormous deal. So I fly to London, which I love, by the way. London is wonderful. The city, the energy, the weather is not wonderful, but everything else.
The weather is famously not wonderful.
It was raining when I landed. Of course it was raining. It is always raining. But anyway, I arrive at the office and immediately I understand this is a serious place. The building is all glass and dark stone from the outside. You walk through the doors and there is a receptionist who looks at you like she's deciding whether you are allowed to exist.
Oh, I know that look. The you may or may not be worthy look.
Exactly that look. And she takes me up to the executive floor and the meeting room. Ava, the meeting room had its own name. Painted on the door in gold letters. The Wellington Room.
Oh, it was named after the Duke of Wellington.
I assume so. Or maybe a very important boot. I was too nervous to ask.
I love that. Okay, the Wellington Room.
The Wellington Room. Dark wood paneling, leather chairs. A painting of what I think was a horse, but a very serious horse. And in the center of the table, a tray with a teapot and little biscuits arranged in a perfect circle.
Okay, listeners, picture this with me. Ben, tall, impeccably dressed, prepared down to every decimal point in his spreadsheet, sitting in a room named after a military general, across from a very British CEO, with a very serious horse watching from the wall. This is the setting. Hold it in your mind.
The CEO enters. Sir Richard Calloway. Very tall, silver hair. The kind of handshake that means something. Firm, twice, direct eye contact. He sits. He pours the tea himself, which I later learned is actually a gesture of hospitality. Very important. And he says, "Right, let's get into it, shall we?" And I thought, okay, I can do this. I am prepared. I know my material. And then the voice in my head said something it should not have said.
What did the voice say?
The voice said, Ben, this is your moment. Be natural. Sound like a native. Don't be so German.
Oh no! Don't be so German is the most dangerous instruction you can give yourself in a foreign language.
It is the worst possible instruction, because what it really means is stop thinking carefully, start improvising. And when a German speaker starts improvising in English under pressure, things come out of the brain in the wrong language.
This is such an important point, and I want everyone to really hear it. The mistake Ben made was not because his English is bad. It isn't. His English is excellent. The mistake happened because stress pushed him back toward his first language, and he grabbed expressions that felt fluent and natural in German and carried them directly across into English. This is called interference. Your first language interferes with your second language at the exact moment you need your second language the most. It happens to every learner at every level. And idioms, fixed expressions, set phrases, are where interference hits hardest, because they feel like words, but they're actually pictures, and pictures don't translate. Okay, walk us through it. The first moment.
So, the meeting has been going well for about 20 minutes. Numbers, timelines, delivery terms. My preparation is holding up. Sir Richard seems engaged. Not exactly warm, but engaged. And then he raises a minor point. A small clause in the contract about a 3-day delivery buffer. And in German, I would say this is completely irrelevant and nothing detail. We can agree immediately. In German, I would say, das ist mir doch Wurst. That is my sausage. I do not care about this. Either way is fine. Flexible, agreeable, professional.
And instead of translating the meaning,
I translated the words. Well, Sir Richard, regarding that particular clause, to be completely honest with you, this is all sausage to me. I was nodding when I said it, Ava. I was nodding as if this was a completely normal and professional sentence.
You were nodding.
Confident nod, eye contact, the full package.
What happened on his face?
The pen stopped moving. He looked up, very slowly. Then he looked at my colleague, Thomas, who was sitting next to me. Thomas's expression was, you know when someone really wants to help you, but they also cannot because they are too busy experiencing shock?
Yes, I know that face.
That was Thomas's face. And Sir Richard looked back at me and he said, very carefully, very quietly, as British people do when they are deeply confused but too polite to say so, I'm sorry. The what? And my brain said, he didn't hear you. Say it again. Louder. So I did. The sausage, Sir Richard. This clause is sausage to me. It doesn't matter either way.
You said it twice.
I said it more clearly the second time. I even gestured toward the contract.
You gestured at it.
For clarity, I thought maybe if I indicated the physical document, the sentence would make more sense.
Okay, wait. This is the moment. Wait, Ben, for our listeners, you said sausage, but what you actually meant was...
I meant, this detail is not important to me. I am flexible. Either option is completely fine. We can agree on whatever works for your side.
Exactly. And that is a completely reasonable, professional thing to say in a business meeting. Now let me tell you about the idiom, das ist mir Wurst, in German. That is sausage to me. And this expression actually has a beautiful little history. In old German culture, the sausage was such a common, everyday food that it represented something utterly ordinary. unimportant, interchangeable. If something is sausage to you, it means it's so small and unremarkable that you genuinely don't mind either way. It makes perfect sense inside German culture. Outside it, a CEO in London hears, "This man has opinions about processed meat in my boardroom." The English equivalents are simple and safe. It's all the same to me. I don't mind either way. Whatever works best for you. 3 phrases, 0 sausages. All professional.
I know all of these phrases. I have known them for years.
And yet.
And yet, pressure is a strange thing.
Oh, Ben, I need a moment. Okay. I'm okay. I am so sorry, but the image of you nodding and shouting "sausage" at a British CEO? It's just too much.
I am glad you find my suffering amusing. Truly.
It's not suffering, it's education. So, how did the meeting continue? Did Sir Richard just move on?
He was very professional. He cleared his throat. He made a note in his file, probably check Mr. Müller's mental health. And he moved to the final point, the contract terms. He wanted to know if my legal team back in Munich had any final concerns before we signed the letter of intent.
This was your chance, the recovery.
Exactly. I thought, okay, I made a mistake with the sausage. I don't know why he's confused, but I need to fix the energy. I need to tell him that everything is perfect. No problems, no worries. Everything is 100% okay.
And the German brain produced?
Alles in Butter. It's such a positive expression. It's so warm. In Germany, when something is in butter, it means it's completely under control. Everything is smooth, perfected, safe.
So you leaned across the mahogany table.
I leaned in. I gave him my most trustworthy, most professional look. And I said, "Sir Richard, about the legal concerns. Please, relax. There are no concerns. Everything is in butter."
No, stop it, Ben, no.
He looked at his tea. Then he looked at the tray of biscuits. Then he looked back at me. And he said, and his voice was very, very dry. He said, "I'm sorry. Is everything in butter?"
He probably thought you were having some kind of dairy-related emergency.
I tried to explain. I thought maybe butter isn't clear enough. So I said, "Yes, butter. It is all very smooth, no friction. Everything is buttery."
Everything is buttery. Then that makes it so much worse. It sounds like you've spilled your lunch on the contract.
He closed his folder. Very slowly. He stood up and he said, "Well, I think that's quite enough for one morning. I'll leave you to your condiments."
I'll leave you to your condiments. That is the most British insult I have ever heard.
I felt very small in a very large chair.
Okay, listeners, let's break this down. Everything is in butter actually has a fascinating history. Hundreds of years ago, when people transported fragile things, like expensive porcelain from Italy, they would put them in crates and pour melted butter around them. When the butter hardened, the porcelain was safe. It wouldn't break during the journey. It's a beautiful image of safety and care. But in a modern English office, everything is in butter just sounds messy. It sounds greasy or like a cooking accident.
It did not sound beautiful in the Wellington Room. I can promise you that.
What you wanted to say was, everything is sorted. We're all good. No issues at all. Or even, it's all smooth sailing. Simple, clear, and absolutely butter-free.
I know those words now. I see them in my sleep. Sorted. No issues. No sausages.
Ben, I have to know. Did you ever see Sir Richard again? Or did you have to change your name and move to a different country?
Actually, yes. 3 months later. But not in London. He came to our office in Munich.
Oh no, the pressure was on.
I was terrified. I had spent those 3 months studying only idioms. I had flashcards, I had apps. I was a man possessed.
A man possessed by not saying sausage.
Exactly. He walks into our conference room and he looks at me and he has this tiny, tiny smile on his face and he says, "Morning, Ben. I trust everything is buttery today?"
He kept the joke alive. That is a very good sign.
It was. I looked him right in the eye. I didn't blink. And I said, "Sir Richard, everything is strictly sorted."
Yes, perfect. 10 points for Ben.
He laughed. A real laugh this time. We signed the deal. And then he took our team out for a very nice lunch.
Did you have sausages?
We had steak. It was much, much safer.
Oh, I love a happy ending. Okay, everyone. Let's wrap this up with our 3-point recap for today. Lesson number 1. Translate the meaning, not the picture. If you see a sausage in your head in German, or a pile of butter, do not let those images come out of your mouth in English. Look for the intention instead.
Lesson number 2. Simple is better. When you are under pressure, do not try to be extra native. Do not try to be poetic. Just be clear. It's fine, or I don't mind, is 100 times better than a confusing literal translation.
And lesson number 3. Embarrassment is the best teacher. Ben will never, ever forget the word sorted because of that day. So, if you make a mistake, laugh, learn, and keep going. And before we head out, we have a question for you. Have you ever had your own sausage moment? Have you ever translated an idiom from your language literally and watched people's faces fill with confusion? Tell us your funniest story in the comments below. We read all of them, and they make us feel much better about our own mistakes. And if you found this episode helpful, or at least funny, please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It really helps our loft grow.
And maybe stay away from condiments in the boardroom.
Great advice. Thank you so much for joining us in the loft today. Remember to stay curious, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Tschüss.
Bye-bye.